I've felt lonely for a long time now, and I would personally not recommend it. Loneliness is a pit in my stomach of isolation and the fear that there's no one out there that I could truly connect with. It's frustrating imagining and dreaming of a situation where I'm happy to be with someone else, but I just wake up to disappointment. It's at times like this where I really wish that I could cry. I really want to, but I'm just too numb and trained to not allow myself to feel these feelings. Crying is great because it allows you to let some of the emotion out and flow out of your system, but I'm just stuck overflowing with sadness with no release valve. I used to be able to cry after watching the show Cyberpunk Edgerunners because I was so jealous of the relationships that they had on the show, and just listening to the soundtrack made me cry, but after so many listens, I once again just became numb to it. So tired of missing out on life. People say that I'm young, but that doesn't change the fact that the clock's still ticking. There's things that I could be experiencing and I'm just not experiencing it, and I'm just being left in the dust. I really do want to enjoy what little life we have, and I'm just tired of suffering alone. I just want to be able to connect with others on a meaningful basis. I just want to feel like I'm heard by somebody who just cares. A relationship is something that I've missed out on my entire life, and I've just watched people have their own experiences from the sidelines. It's difficult because I want to go down this avenue, but I'm in no mental state to have a relationship. I cannot share the burdens I have with someone else because no one deserves that. I also can't even drive down the street without feeling like I'm about to have a panic attack, so how do I even meet people? Luckily enough for me, I have some online friends, but there's still a major disconnect there. At the end of the day, I'm just staring at a screen, talking to voices through my headphones. I appreciate the hell out of them, but it just doesn't fit the hole that is burning inside of me. And it's hard not to get jealous when I hear my friends talk or play games with their girlfriends, and I just burn with jealousy, but I just keep it cool and just try to have a good time. I really just want a fraction of what they have, but I can't because of this stupid panic disorder, depression, and a mixed bag of other problems. I want to be able to help someone that is struggling like me, but a big fear in mine is that I would just be a burden, and I could never do that to someone. Being a burden is such a big fear for me because my whole life, and even now, I feel like I'm just an inconvenience to my family. I used to constantly apologize in my head whenever I made a mistake because I never wanted to be an inconvenience, and I just mentally punished myself every time I would slip up. My dad used to get really angry, and I never wanted to cause anyone distress. I just feel like I'm not good enough for anyone, including myself, so I'm just terrified and even avoid putting myself out there because I don't like what I see, and I'm afraid no one else will either. I swear, I missed a course or like a lesson on how to make friends. In elementary school, I managed to have many friends somehow. I had a couple of friends in middle school and none in high school and beyond. I made acquaintances in college, but I never really knew how to make a friend. I got to the point that I was really good at introducing myself to people because that's the only way I could actually meet people and having a good relationship with some people, but I never really got from there. I could never actually make a friend. I was good at making acquaintances, but not friends. A major issue was I could barely even get around campus, let alone leave my dorm without fearing of having a panic attack. But sadly, that predicament just never became an issue because I never made any friends. Growing up, mostly in high school, I would just try my best to pretend that I had good days at school to make my parents happy because, I really didn't want to make them sad because of me. I was always a downer, or so I was told by many. So I just tried to make them happy by carrying this burden on my own. I sit here isolated and working every day to improve my mental health so that one day I can move out and meet some new people. Hopefully make some friends and maybe have a relationship. It's just really frustrating when I just can't drive like a normal person and I have this fear and sensation of death looming behind me the farther I drive away from my house. I have to drive about 35 times a week facing my demons just to make a tiny amount of progress. I really wish I just had someone to hug on these rough days and just tell me everything was going to be okay. I wish I could cry and just let some of this pain out. I wish that I could have a fraction of the life that I dreamed about, but maybe that's just too much to ask for. Good night, everybody.